Feels like love, Cupid made a shot.
Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe. So today I thought we would go through and do some hard gel. We're just going to do a basic hard gel extension. I have two nails here, two different ways we're going to show you. I want to also show you, how to fix a more deformed nail, how you can correctly apply a tip so it is not sloped or slanted. My one nail grows a little bit different, so I want to show you how I would attach a tip for that to do a hard gel extension, and just what you're going to need. Just your basic hard gel, simple, easy peasy. So today I want to go through and show you the products that I'm going to use and that I recommend that you get ready so you have everything that you need. So when you're ready to do your hard gel, everything is around you. It's just the worst when you're trying to do your application and then you look and you don't have this or that, or it's not in front of you and you'll forget steps, and that's how you get lifting, and we don't want no lifting. So I do pretty good with my method, so I thought I would go ahead and show you guys that. So let's go ahead and get all of our products ready, shall we? Okay guys, so I just want to go through the few things that I recommend you have ready already on your desk before you start any extensions, because the biggest thing is, well, the most annoying thing is when you put your nail tips on for the extension and then you forget you need stuff and then you're scrambling and then you have like nail tips on. So I find let's get everything that we need out on our desk, and then we can get started to do our application. So what I'm going to use today is I'm going to actually use Venalisa. Now this gel is a jelly gel. The consistency is a little bit harder. It's not as loose as some of the other hard gels and builder gels that are on the market. That's why I really do think this is such a great beginner friendly gel. But I want to tell you, it is a hard gel, so hard gels you must file off. So you have to be mindful of that. That the removal of a hard gel is going to be different than a builder gel. A builder gel you can soak off in acetone, or an acrylic you can soak off in acetone, but hard gels you actually have to file them off. They're non-porous, so when it comes to acetone, acetone will not penetrate through them. As like a builder gel or a acrylic, it's porous, so the acetone actually will penetrate through it to break down the product. So hard gels must be filed off, so you just have to be careful of the removal system when you use a hard gel over a builder gel, so keep that in mind. But the consistency is really, it's just so beginner friendly. It doesn't move that fast, and this is what we're going to use today, so I'm going to show you that, but I'd love to show you the consistency of another gel where it would be running. It hasn't even moved, right? Okay. So we have two other gels here. I'm just going to show you quick. We're going to use that one though. Now the extension gel with Born Pretty, I'm pretty sure it is a file off. I believe you can soak it off. It's a builder. I don't think it's a hard gel, but it is a lot thinner. You can even just tell now where it's moving. Where our other one wasn't moving. It's more for the consistency, but I'm pretty sure that is a soak off. I'm pretty sure that's a builder. Born Pretty. Now this is another Venalisa. This is the hard gel as well, but the consistency is different. This is how most hard gels consistency is. Now that is a jelly gel. That's the difference of it. But do you see how fast you're moving that guy? That's how fast that'll move on your nail. And this is an extension gel. You can build out your nail with this gel. So that is really the difference. Why I do suggest, in all honesty, if you're not familiar with them, go that way. Try to go to Venalisa. You can go get them off the Venalisa store. And you can use my discount code. Actually, I do have a discount code with Venalisa, so you can save some money right there. But they're jellies, just as an example. I gotta keep my eye on it. Don't want it to go over. Do you see it? Where that one's just not even moving yet. You can have this one like upside down. It's this guy we have to be careful of. That guy hasn't moved yet, right? But it's still pretty easy to work with, meaning it self-levels nicely when it's on the nail. I think just the more you work with it, it warms up a little bit. So it is nice to work with. It's not hard to work with at all. Where I've had some that are too stiff and it's almost like you're working with kind of like a softer poly gel, if that makes sense. So there's so many different consistencies with extension gel, but that's a whole different video. I'm not going to get into that, but I did want to show you the difference of this one specifically if you wanted to maybe start your journey and you're very new into it. I recommend this one for the consistency, but please be mindful of your removal. It's different. You can't you can't soak it off. You have to file this off. So you do run more risk of causing damage if you don't know what you're doing with that, right? So I suggest you know what you're doing with that before you just jump into that as well. So, but anyways, we're going to use that one. The hands are sticky. Okay, so now the rest of the products that we need, we know we're going to do a hard gel, or sorry, not a hard gel. We know we're going to do an extension gel. So we want to build out our nails, right? So we have that. We took out that product, got that in our basket. Now, really important, also products that we need, we're going to need a base coat, we're going to need a dehydrator, and a primer. These are the three things that I use to put my nails on, or before I put my nails on. And I don't normally run into lifting or anything like that with proper prep of your nails, which will come a little bit later on. So what we need is a base. Now, I don't know, I would love to know in the comments below. Let me know, when it comes to your base coat, are you okay just to use any base coat when it comes to like a hard gel extension or any like an extension, not a like just polish? I don't know. I have this weird theory in my head, and this is why I'm saying it, that a normal base coat, like a Madam Glam base coat, would normally, well not normally, a Madam Glam base coat is for Madam Glam polish, right? So when you have just a regular base coat, which normally regular base coats are for whatever polish they come with, usually they come with the polishes, or there is a base coat or top coat made for that specific polish. I find those ones are polish base coats. So I don't use them for an extension base, if that makes sense. I really hope that is making sense and I'm explaining that correctly. But I don't know, so I'm just really weird with that. So I have only ever really, well, no, I'm not going to say really, I've only ever used for extension gels is actually the Young Nail base. So I've bought it off, I've only ever gotten it off Amazon. That's really the only way I know where to get it. I think at some beauty places downtown I can get it as well. But I've only ever had to get it off Amazon, and that works fine for me. But this is the only one that I've ever used for an extension. And that is my theory with the base coat. I would love your opinion in the comments. What do you feel about base coat? Do you think you could just use anything? Is it fine to use anything? Maybe it's in my head. But I feel like you should use a base coat made for an extension gel. Or yeah, base made for an extension gel. I don't know. I think there's a difference in my opinion, but I didn't make it, so I don't know. Don't know the science behind what's in the ingredients, if the ingredients are any different to a regular base coat that you could use for an extension, and then a base gel in a pot. So this is what I use for my base. 5 minutes later. Okay, so what I also like to use is a dehydrator and a primer. Now this primer is not the primer right here. I don't think I actually even have any of them, do I? Oh, I do. I have a small one, a brand new one. So this is just a different bottle, and that's because these bottles, I hate them. I've spilled them so many times and they're hard to find. I've only ever found these in little kits on Amazon, and now I can't find the kits anymore. So they're harder for me to find here in Canada. Again, I might have to try my local shops. But anyways, it's like little liquid gold. I love this. I use it for, again, I use it for an extension a primer. I am perfectly fine using like a Born Pretty primer or something like that for a Gel X. I don't really care what primer I use for a Gel X, to be in all truth. But when it comes to building out my nail, again, I look at that a little differently. So that I do and prefer to use a specific primer. I just think it works. It's just less lifting. I don't know what it is in my opinion. So I prefer the Protein Bond with Young Nails, and that's all that's in this. It's just a different bottle. So we want to make sure we have a primer and a dehydrator. Dehydrating your nail is super important. You do not want to have any oils on your nail. Oil and nail extensions, like, they don't like each other. They're not friends yet. They're only friends at the end. Do you know what I mean? Like, oil only comes into play at the very end when you want to be cute now. Prior to that, we want really dry nail beds, and that's because we want all of our chemicals. Well, they are chemicals, but we want all of our ingredients, or why can't I talk today? Sorry. We want all of our products to stick to our nail the best that they can, and they will do that on a dry surface. So that's why we want to dehydrate as well. So I just like to use the Born Pretty. In all truth, the Born Pretty primer and dehydrator is my go-to for everything else besides gel extensions, and then I bring in Young Nails for the gel extension. So I just buy the kit of both of them. Okay guys, so next we need to adhere our nail tip. So what I normally do is just do an air dry glue, but you can definitely use a gel glue. Now keep in mind, if you use a gel glue, you're going to need a light. If you use an air dry glue, you don't need a light. So lights that I prefer, in all truth, is I love the Melody Susie. This is my go-to. I love her. It's just touch, cordless. It's my best friend. In my personal opinion, now you can also go a cheaper version if you would like to. I got another version off of Amazon that you can use my discount code, guys. Oh yeah, but discount code for Melody Susie. So use that. You save some Moulin Rouge. But if you can swing the Melody Susie, I recommend her. But if you can't and you just want a little guy, but also this little guy I'm going to show you, it's kind of like, sorry, it's kind of like really cool as well. So it's only 20 bucks. So maybe get him too, if you can. But this guy here, I got this off AliExpress. This just comes off. It's just a little, your handheld, which is great for your charms, but you can use it as a gel X. Now I find this a little flimsy. It's just too light to put this on. So I just got a coaster from a secondhand store, like 50 cents or something, double-sided taped it to it. So now it's just its own little guy. You can put your gel X, anything like that, right? Or your tip, because you could glue your tip down and be perfectly fine. A little bit more of an affordable version, but also this one works in like a 2-in-1 because it's great for the charms. You kind of need one of those little guys for charms. But I love the Melody Susie guy. Woo. My fave. Okay, so now that we've moved on from, we have all of the products that we need, let's go on to our tools that we're going to need. Just some basics. Now we're going to need a couple files. I like to use the metal files. Again, I get them from AliExpress, and then you can buy the backings. This is usually a 180, and yeah, okay, sorry, I forgot. My apologies. 180 and a 240. The thing about that though is that unless you feel it, I don't know what is the difference of them. That's like the only thing, but you can just feel it. I can tell that that's a 240 side, and I can tell that that's a 180 side. So that's what I do. I just feel it first, and I think over time you'll get like the grit looks a little different. Okay, so or any file, but we're using gel. Gel, you don't have to use a really hard grit file. Like you don't need a 100 grit file for gel, in all truth. A 180 grit is perfectly fine. Gel is a lot finer than acrylic, so the dust, it breaks down a lot easier. So when you're filing, you have to be careful not to overfile gel. It's a lot easier to overfile gel than it is acrylic. So this is not the time to be bringing out like that 100 grit file and just, you know, get going crazy on these guys, because we're just not going to need to. So we have our 180 grit and 240, and we need our little buffer. So we're gonna buff, and then I personally like these little wooden files. They're just so thin, or if you have a little metal file, I recommend that, because right in the end, sometimes it's good to tighten things up. Bring that guy to the party if you can. Okay, I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna put these back over on my right side. Now, tools. This is an option for you. I personally like to clip off my dead cuticle. I think it just makes it for a cleaner manicure. But again, that is completely your option, and only do what you're comfortable with. And be mindful, when you have a dead cuticle, you see it discolored. So it's not like our skin color. You'll know it looks dead. It's white and a little bit crusty. That's what usually we take off. So be very mindful. Kind of look at your skin and notice and analyze yourself, because I really feel like you have to learn on yourself before you can start looking at anybody else's. So analyze your nails a little. Be like, okay, see what's dead. Even without taking it off, you can actually see the dead skin, and then maybe get used to that and then know how to trim. That's what I did. So yeah, I prefer a little guy. I get mine from Born Pretty. And also a little pusher, a cuticle pusher. Push back our dead cuticle. We're also going to need a ball bit and a barrel bit is what I use. And I think I even use a sanding band. I do bring a sanding band to the party. Again, you don't need a thing. You do not need a very hard grit. A 180 is perfectly fine. Okay, so now that we have everything, oh, you know what? Honestly, bring with gel, sometimes you want to get really in there. So this is another little trick. Get a wood stick if you have it, or this guy as well works really good. It's actually usually what I use, but a wood stick will work perfectly fine. This I think I got off AliExpress, to be honest. And then, oh yeah, don't forget a brush. We need a gel brush. This is the gel brush I've been using for years, yeah, since the beginning I've tried with gel. I got it from Shein. Absolutely love it. I've bought it multiple times. I've cured it, done a lot of bad things to this little brush. Not specifically this one. I've bought so many and just throw them out. I think I have a couple backups. But like this brush, I don't know what you would say that would be. I would say it would be about an 8, 6 to an 8, no more than that. But it is a little bit shorter. So I just recently got in the Lisette brush and I was using it the last few times and I was really enjoying that. So this is the LGN Pro brush and this is an oval. Look how dry my hands are. Oh my god. Wow. This is an oval 6 and very, very tight fitting lid. See. Do you see the longer bristles? And that's kind of what I was looking for. This one is a little bit more fatter and that one is a little bit more longer. Well, I really hurt that brush. Right? So, really liking this. A lot lighter though. So we're going to use that brush today. And I'll have all the links for everything that we use down in the description below, guys. Alright, so let's get started with just the basic extension and then we'll move on to how to fix a disformed nail. Because realistically, this nail, if you put the tip right where it's supposed to be, right at your edge, look how dry my hands are. Oh my god, like I just put oil on. That's bad. Anyways, if you put it right on the edge of that nail, realistically, your nail's going to be shaped down. So I want to show you how I have kind of just done mine for the last couple of years. And also, even when I used to go to the salon, I even told my lady then, like for her to do that because I hated when they put the tip down and I could see it be slanted. I did not like it. So even then I was like, oh, let's try this. So I've kind of been doing it for a few years now, actually. But yeah, so let's go to this one first, shall we? Oh, guys, I do not want to forget quickly, as I just seen it on my left side, you're also going to need your dust collector and a full-size lamp. Very, very important. You do need a full-size lamp as well. So we do have that. 2 things you need to make sure you have ready as well. Okay, let's get started. So I'm just going to start by prepping my nail. To be honest, I kind of already did this a little bit earlier, but I'm just going to kind of go over and show the motion of it. Maybe I forgot some. We'll just go back in and do it again. So you're just going to start by pushing back your cuticle. Now, be very gentle. You should not be pushing very hard. Oh, it grosses on my nail anyways. You do have anything that you can scrape, you can go ahead and scrape it off. Looks like I needed to prep that nail anyway. So our gel wipe solution, get our nipper. So there's not much, but I'll just go in lightly. I'm just going to take a ball bit. And this is the Manicure drill. I do love it, though. It's cordless. I'm gonna lie. I want to try the Melody Susie one, though. Adjustable speed, it's a must. Never buy the ones with no adjustable speed. Oh. I never listen to my own self. You're supposed to go back. Okay, so we have just a mini little sanding band here, just at 4. And we're just going to go lightly over our nail. Try to get in the corners and the edges, just very light. Not a lot. Okay. I see your skin. Ow. Let's go in with a little brush. Make sure that we have all everything off, nice and clean. Now, nail tips. These are just some nail tips from Shein. Guys, not too crazy. So that's what we're going to use today. I did go already out and size mine. Okay, this just needs a smidge, like a 1-2. There we go. And it's easy to do if you just leave it on. Sorry, I should have showed you better. Very flat. And then I almost try to just grab the little butt and then you can push it back and forth. Okay. Seems good to me. Okay. So I'm just going to use a regular air dry glue. Now you just need a little bit on the inside of the well. Now this is really important. You don't want to put this too far down. You want this like a smidge. What is that, like a little a millimeter? I don't know what how big that is or how far up, but not a lot. Oh goodness. Okay, like that's max, right? So the reason, let's make, oh, we're not straight. Hold on, let me get this on. Okay, sorry. Whew. You gotta concentrate when you do that. Now she'll go on crooked for me. So the reason that you really want to, oh, and I find get an old pair of little tweezers. Get in the corners. To hold it for a sec. So I do find now when you put your nail tip on, the reason you only want to go up, it's like a millimeter. I don't know. I'm not good with the whole proper things, but like a smidge. And I'll show you there in my nail once it stops being stuck. So the reason you only want to go up literally like a smidge, some nail tips actually have like a little line for to show you how far to go up. Not that far, right? But some don't. So you only really want to go up like a little bit. Now the reason for that is the farther you go up, the less product that you're going to actually have on your nail, whatever your extension gel be, so the weaker your nail is going to be. If you put your nail tip all the way up here, let's say to half cover your nail, well, underneath that nail, all that's holding that is whatever glue you use. So say if you just use a regular air dry glue or a gel glue, obviously a gel glue would be stronger, but you know what I'm saying. So that's going to have less support where you actually need your apex, like where you're going to need the hard gel product to extend your nail, especially if you're doing a long nail. You're going to have less support there. You're actually not going to have the support of the hard gel product building out your nail. You're only going to have a little bit of glue that you've actually put the nail tip, because all underneath that now is just nail tip glue, and then your extension gel is only covering here. So now you only have support all the way right here at your back third. Right? That's why a lot of people have breakage right here. They wonder, why did my nail break off like right at the tip? But you probably end up putting your nail tip up a little too high, and that's just going to cause weakness in your nail. I really hope that makes sense. So you like, again, you only want her down there just a little bit. Air dry glue. It I don't know, I personally like it. That's what I started with. So with that, I like to, like I said, get an old pair of tweezers. These guys come with everything. Keep a pair. And then get in there and get your wings down. Get your wings down as much as you can, and then you're good. We will go in and blend that as well, just to have everything seamless. But right now what we want to go do is just make sure our shape is fine first, and then we blend. We don't want to blend first, because if you blend first, you'll actually cause weakness. Then when you're shaping, you might like lift your nail tip off, and that's just going to be annoying, right? So let's shape it first, and then we'll blend, and then we can go in with our dehydrator and primer. Okay, so we're just going to go in and we're going to take our 180 side of our file, and always support your nail, even if it's a little guy. This isn't too long. It's about, I'd still classify that as pretty long, but maybe long medium. Okay, so let's get our side walls, and all we're really doing is just making sure that that tip is just blended in there. So I'm just trying to look on the screen. I'm going to say something quick. I don't normally double camera film, especially this stuff. like demonstrations or anything like that. So again, guys, I am trying to just elevate my skill and just that. So I hope that it's okay, and I hope it doesn't take too long for me to do this both ways. But I wanted to try it, and I thought, hey, why not try it with the hard gel, right? Okay, anyways, let's get back to Violet. So now that we got in here, and we're going to blend her around, blend our tip in, whatever shape you're going for. This is the time just to make sure you got the shape that you're kind of wanting. I'm fine with that. So from here, let's go back in and grab our drill. Now, if you don't have a drill, you can use your file the same way. And all you're going to do for that, let's just do that then. Make sure you stay on the tip. That is very crucial. You want to stay on whatever your tip is, like your plastic, gel, whatever it is, right? Don't want to file your natural nail. Okay, so now that we've blended our tip in, just go over your whole nail quick. Remember, gel doesn't like soft things, so it's good to always rough up what you're working with. Now for here, it's just a personal preference. I like to use just alcohol to wipe this part of the nail, because if I use my gel wipe solution, it's going to turn my nail tip white. Acetone will turn any like plastic or acrylic nail tip white. Sometimes I feel like your alcohol does it too a little bit, like that, especially when it's like 100% alcohol. I think that one might be. Really dries you out. Okay, so now we have our nail. Hydrate her first. Now you only have to dehydrate your nail. You don't have to go down to the tip. No need. Our nail's pretty dehydrated, and how you know that? She looks really white. Okay, now we're going to take our nail crack Young Nails primer. I've heard it been called that on the street once or twice. Now I like to do 2 coats, so we're going to do 1 coat. Now be mindful when you're putting this on, don't touch your skin. Okay, now I still have it right here. There's still enough product on it. It's been a second. Usually by then you will go and do the rest of your nails, but I just like to take what's on my brush and just go over my tip. You don't have to go over your tip a lot, like you really don't. I just like to go over the smidge with whatever was left on my brush, and then my second dip, go back in, again, prime twice. When in doubt, if you got lifters, prime twice maybe. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Just be very sure not to touch your skin. Now again, we're going to go in with our base. And we're going to use the 6 oval LGN Pro. Guys, if you can swing her, I'm going to get that brush set that she has. I just seen the whole brush set with the little brush holder. It looks beautiful. Now I want it all. And I'm telling you, oh, she knows what she's doing. Again, she's a gel user, so she has good gel products. The gel, this is a perfect gel brush. This is the type of brush I've been looking for with the long bristles. That is what I'm enjoying. So we're just going to take our base. Be sure to go over your nail tip. Get the fuzzy off. Again, be sure, try your hardest not to touch your skin. Again, I just like to bring it all the way down. Wondering if the fuzzy wants to come off. Thank you. Put it in your light, 60 seconds. Okay, now we have our cured base. We're just going to take a little bit of product. Try to keep your product on one side of your brush, but this is just our slip layer. Very, very important layer. Your slip layer is where gel likes to go. Gel likes to touch gel, so if you put gel down, your other gel will want to just go there. So this is a very, very important step. And it's very important that you do not touch your skin. Why? Gel likes to go where gel was. If you put it where your skin or in your cuticle, you're going to get flooded. It's a nice thin layer. That's all you need there. Now we're going to go in. This might be a little scary. So with working, especially with this gel, this is a jelly, so it's very thick. It's way thicker than a builder. I would never do this with one of the looser ones I showed you guys earlier. Oh no, you would definitely probably have some flooding going on. Too much. But for this style of gel, I could actually take a pretty decent little blob gel Now, not too much. Medium size bead. Pretty big bead for gel though. But remember, this is a different gel. This is a harder gel. So we're just going to go right in the kind of the middle. Prefer if you get off my brush. Push it back where you want it. Now, I just kind of like to move it side to side. I don't like to bounce it. You just kind of want to pull. Okay, now this is where you can get that wood stick. Take it off your cuticle because we already see that we touched ourselves. Now we see it's moving pretty fast. Let's flip our hand upside down for a second. Okay, let's take the pressure off of ourselves. Oh my God, it's moving. It does sometimes, and sometimes it's like, OMG. Put your finger upside down. We have our wood stick. Now what we're gonna do is just want to, again, just touch the top of it. Don't really put it in there. Just want to manipulate the top to get it right as close to the cuticle as you can. Taking it off if you touch your skin right away. And then here, again, just working it down a little. I'm going to bring them in to save myself all that filing because that's a lot of product. Boop. Back upside down. And make sure you blink when you're doing all that. I feel like I wasn't blinking. Now with gel, guys, there's something called a heat spike. If you put it in the light, especially the thicker the product is, the higher heat spike you can get. So it's nicer to work with smaller, but sometimes, again, if you're working with very small gel beads, it's going to take you a long time to build out your nail. So I recommend trying to get your slip layer, and then you should be able to do it in 2 to 3 medium-ish beads with gel. But again, your heat spike, if you find, because all gels are different, if you find it has a really big heat spike, the 90-second, most lamps have a low heat. That 90 seconds, that's what we use it for gel. It just helps not get that burn, but you still kind of got to get it in there, or something called like a flash cure. Turn your light on, and then you can have it so it's just right at the edge. Get your cure lightly and then out, or keep your light on really, right? Okay, so now we're going to go and do our second bead. So this is what we're working with so far. We have a good little structure, but we have to fill in the rest of our nail here. Now this bead is going to be a bit smaller, like that. Okay. And then you want to just kind of put it up to where we left off. Ideally, I could have probably brought that in a little bit more, but it's okay. When I was doing it the first time. So sometimes it's easier just to flip your own hand and get right in there and let your apex naturally build into itself. Okay, put her in the light, and then we'll go back and just see. Now, right now, it's a good time to give it its full 60. That's what I would recommend at your second bead. Full bead, first bead, I just give it a 30, and then second, full 60, and then our last full again, and then we'll go in and wipe it off and be able to file it into perfection. Okay, so that's what we're looking like right now. We kind of still need a little bit of an apex going on here. So I'm just going to take our other bead, kind of put it right back to where we started. And I just want to go a full thin layer over the whole nail. Then I get your wood stick or your little metal stick. Close as you can without touching. Alright, now upside down, let gravity do the work for you and your nail will pull into itself. Well then, if she looks a little chubby, it's okay. Give her a good wipe. Well, that's how to apply too much product. Again, you have to really like look at it and manage. I probably could have got away with 2 medium and then trying to do 3, a 1 and then 2 small, because I feel like the last one was a little bit bigger. It's okay. So we're gonna have to go in and shape that, because that's bad. But all right, before we're gonna go in and do that, let me show you how to fix a little nail that is growing a little bit crooked, like this guy. Okay, so I have 2 nail tips here. I have, sorry guys, I have a 6 and I have a 7. So we have 2 sizes, 1 up to 1 down. So what we're going to do first is we have to prep that nail. So this nail, again, was already prepped. I think I'm fine with the prep on that nail, guys. All right, guys. So this is a little nail here. Now, I slammed this nail in a door many, many years ago. I was younger when that happened, and it's just never grown back the same. That's probably why I've always liked getting my nails done, because that nail. So with this nail, it grows like kind of up and down, like it's just like a little hill. Now with that being said, when you put your nail tip on, most times you want to go from, you know, sidewall to sidewall. Now this tip is too small, but if you put the size that would actually fit, which is about a 7, this is a little bit big. So that much nail underneath, you would have to put the nail down to attach it to that nail. It's the only way to do it. Now by doing that, your nail tip will be crooked. It'll be pointed down. And that's just always what it was. Every time I went to go get my nails done, that's always what they did. They just put it right down there. And then it always was just a little bit down and I hated it. So I've decided to not go that way. Even when I was getting my nails done back in the day, I suggested that they did this. So I want to show you what I did. So just get your nail glue. Sorry, that's what I was looking for. Now I get a smaller tip, at least 1 size smaller. It still goes, well, it goes to where it should technically, sidewall to sidewall on that little nail. You need to make sure that you're still attached to your nail. So get a smaller guy, get our air glue. And then we're just going to attach them. So there we go. But do you see how it just goes down? Not cute, right? So what we're going to do is just going to take some scissors and then chop it off. So there we go. Now grab your file, wherever I put mine. And to me, I'm going to want to round mine out a little, like kind of match it to what your regular nail would be. You're really just filling in the little parts. Like that nail gets really skinny down there and it doesn't go very wide as the rest of the nail. Right? Okay. So now that we have that, what we're going to do is just with your file, just go over just the nail tip. Don't go over your natural nail at all. And you really just want to blend it as best you can. Okay. Now grab a little bit of acetone. This is what we're going to want this one for. Okay. It wants to come out. And then just to rub that for a second. And that'll just kind of melt in that plastic into your nail a little bit. Okay, so now that we've done that, we've put like just a little layer. We just kind of added a layer to that to raise it up a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and grab our regular tip. Air dry. And put it to where our nail should be now. And there we go. Time we fill this in this small indentation here, that we will build it with our apex. But what is straight now is this coming out to our nail, right? And again, we will go ahead and we will blend. But you're gonna wanna shape first. Okay guys, so I'm just gonna go in and file. We definitely need to give her a file, OMG. She got thickums, and then that one's just not very thick and a little lumpy. We're probably gonna have to go back in, but when it comes to my non-dominant hands, a little less is more over there because filing is still different. So we're just gonna mask up. Make sure you put a mask on when you're filing. And then let's go into shaping our nails. I'm gonna go ahead and put a medium barrel bit. And we're gonna turn her up here. 10. Forward. breathe. Okay, I'm just gonna go wash my hands and then we'll come back and top coat. Alright guys, all cleaned up and I shaped them to the best of my ability. Now don't get me wrong, I feel like my shaping, I'm not the best at my shaping yet, in all truth, and I could spend hours just trying to perfect the shape, and there's nothing wrong with that, but at some point you're gonna overfile. So I just think, me personally, I do need practice on my shape, but I do love the way they turned out. I think they're super cute. So we're just gonna grab a base coat. Gonna go ahead and quickly base coat all these, and then we're just gonna top coat them. It's such a subtle little thing for this video. Just let the hard gel showcase. They're so pretty. It has like a little glitter in them. Now the reason I'm base coating is because we just buffed our nail. We made it super soft with buffing it out. So the base coat is going to be our adhesive that our top coat will stick to. It's still important to do a base coat on gel. Hard gel extensions or anything like that, it is like your glue for your polish or your top coat to stick to. Okay, so now we've done all of our top coat, and this is where that wooden file comes in. Just to crisp up anything. Usually it's pretty good. So that's what I like to do with the wooden file. Just go in like to see if sometimes top coat gets there or just anything. Yeah, just make sure they're nice and crisp. So I'm just going to take some of this cuticle oil. This is Nails by Jen, I believe. Ooh. So I'm gonna go heavy because my hands are so dry. You've seen how dry my hands are. Nice massage. And then go give your hands a quick rinse with some water and a soft soap. And here we are, guys. All said and done. Are they not just so cute? I love them. I think they came out super clean and crisp. Again, I know I need to practice my shape more, but I like them. I think I did pretty good. Love, love, love. And again, these two nails are a little wider, right? We slammed them in the door. And that one got a little short. We don't know how that happened. We won't tell nobody. It's okay. We won't notice it. We're fine. But to be in all truth, I actually don't mind keeping this nail a little shorter. It helps it if it gets caught when it's really long. It actually can get caught a little bit and it kind of hurts that nail because there's just not as much surface area holding that nail. So that extension, I always try to shorten a little bit, but you don't want to make it too noticeable. So hopefully it's not that noticeable, but it'll help me and save my nail in the long run. But thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this hard gel video. I appreciate you all. Make sure you hit that subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and share it with a friend. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.